is that when it comes to footwork, there's several ways we can do it. We can land one foot first, or we can land both feet at the same time. And both have pros and cons. So for example, when I lunge, if I'm doing an advancing lunge where both feet are moving, then my front foot could land and then my back foot, or both feet could land at the same time. Now both are good and both are bad. If we have one foot land first, then now we become limited on which retreating footwork we can do. If just my front foot lands, I can only reverse balistra or do single foot footwork, right? Which means I have less options. Especially when we're chaining footwork together, if one foot lands and then I retreat back and just one foot lands again, now I can only do footwork that involves one foot. For example, if I advance or I attack and then I retreat and he attacks me again, I have to do a replacement step. Or I could go forward or another direction off one foot. For example, I've lunged, I land on one foot, I lunge back, I can lunge again, right? But if I land both feet at the same time, then you can do any footwork at any time. So if I lunge and both feet land at the same time, I can lunge again because my back foot is placed if I want. I could crescent switch if I want. I could replacement step if I want. Now same goes for if I land, and say I do both feet at the same time or one foot on my retreat. If both feet land, now I can go any direction with any leg I want, right? Okay, now the pros of landing just one footwork at a time is that it's faster. So when we're landing both feet at the same time, it's slightly slower and we cannot go as far. It's a bit difficult to throw like a max lunge as far, like say we're going like as far as we can, right? And land both feet at the same time. You can't get as far as if you go one foot and then the other foot. Okay, so these are the costs that are really important to think about, especially because they affect your advances. If I advance and I go one foot and then the other, and I'm attacked in tempo and I go one foot, if I'm advancing and just my front foot lands first, I cannot riposte, right, until my back foot lands. Which, if I'm watching my opponent, you can time your attacks when their back foot is not on the ground, if you don't want to be worried about them hitting you. But since their front foot landed first, they can still retreat. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of a tricky little concept. Now, if you advance and you focus on landing both feet at the same time, then as soon as either of your feet land, you can pop into an attack. Which is why some people, when they do this type of footwork, where they step with that heel first, and then they go heel and both feet down at the same time, it's kind of like that same principle.